Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to my jungle. This is Terry, and this is here. If you're a returner to my channel and to my live in the Orchid Jungle, please feel free to click the like button and subscribe. Make sure you don't miss another one of these fun little walks through my jungle of an orchid greenhouse. Today I've been really busy. Hey there. Been very busy, and I must admit that it feels pretty good. Well, hey there, Deemy. How's it going over there? But anyway, I have been feeling very productive and still feeling pretty good about how I have approached my winter this year. Hey, Blanca. So in previous winters, as you all probably know, I just use this place to house my orchids. It maintains the humidity and there is heaters throughout, but I don't water much. I keep the temperature, well, in previous winters, I keep the temperature fairly cooler. It averaged probably about 55 in here. And at night, it got down to being even cooler. Yeah, it's been an ugly day today. It's been an ugly all weekend. But it's 60 degrees outside, so I can't really complain about that. But so this is the first winter that I've really been doing work with my plants instead of just housing them. The temperature has been raised to where it's always about 60 in here, maybe even more during the day. And I've been making sure that I have stayed on top of my repotting and spraying, which a lot of the winters, honestly, I don't do. I just sort of keep that on hold until the spring because things in the past have been so packed in here. I had it totally configured differently, so I was not able to. Hey, Fernanda, thanks for coming. In the past, I've had it configured differently where one end was always closed. I couldn't get in one end. And generally there were plants packed along this wall, and that wall is very cold. So despite the heater being there, that section gets cooler temperatures. So this is the first winter that I've kind of kept them growing. Some of the things I need to be a little bit better at, like for instance, hi Tracy. Like for instance, my maxillarias, I'm not giving them enough water. Even though I have it sitting in water, it's still not getting enough because you can see how shriveled it is. Today, I have my tenifolia hanging out down here in this bucket because as you can see, it's the same thing. The pseudobulbs are shrinkled. Well, they're shrinkled too, not shrinkled, but they're wrinkled. And this is the time when their newest growths should be hardening off because they generally bloom for me in the spring. So, but in my past experience, especially tenifolia, they can take a lot of water pretty much year round. A little bit less when their pseudobulbs are mature, but for the most part, they can take just sitting in water, especially when they're growing. Now this one was fairly dry, and I think this is approaching a repot, which I dread. This is my Trichopilia tortilis, and every time that I've repotted a Trichopilia that I've had, it's totally gone downhill. And this has previously bloomed. There was I think I've already pulled the bloom spike that didn't bloom for me. And this is the newest growth, the one that's right in front of us, which is significantly bigger. So I am going to try to keep that plant as healthy as I can. Maybe I'll see some blooms. So I just have it sitting in the water. I'm assuming that it can take it because it's pretty much planted in moss. Looks like it. And not tortilis, but I think Trichopilias in general have the reputation that they can take a lot of water. But my Maxillaria tenifolias, I mean that. Well, this is a cross. This is Maui coconut, which is sanguinea crossed with tenifolia. But they all pretty much grow the same. But you can see how wrinkled that is. Now, I've got this one down here, which is Maxillaria Ben Berliner, which is variabilis crossed with tenifolia aurea. And it put up a lot of new growths that have started to mature off. So I would expect come the end of winter, towards the beginning of the spring, to all of these to be pushing forth some buds from the bottom of these sheaths. That's generally how that works. So, but yeah, I've been productive today. I potted up a couple of these in semi-hydro. This is my LSU Queen Joyce Duncan Volcano Queen. I can't tell you what LSU stands for, but I know this is a cross of Catante. Now I don't know. Something sprinkles, but it's pretty. I think Magic Spring. I'm not gonna remember what it is, but one of the crosses that I can't remember the name of, is a cross between Richard Mueller and BLC Worsley, something Worsley, which I know I used to have Worsley. It is a kind of it's very pretty Cattleya that is, it has flaring on the petals that make it very attractive. It's lilac, and then it's got a lighter pink in the petals with darker flaring. Hey, Todd. Hey, Todd. I know I don't like shrinkles either. Hey, Todd, I was going to ask you. I bought this plant, and hopefully I'll stay online. And sorry about the light. I guess I can turn it off. But I bought this plant right here, Mean Honey Drop, which is, well, if this leaf would get out of my way, it is Signatum crossed with Frederixianum. So I used to have a Signatum, and it got too much water this spring. It was mounted, and it died really quick on the mount. So I know Frederixianum, and with all that I've read on it, it likes it dry in the winter, and it doesn't like any water until it starts to get new growths. So I really haven't given it much of anything, but I've noticed these bumps. Well, hey there, Mick. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. So that's looking pretty nice. Well, I don't know. This is tagged Signatum by Frederixianum. Maybe that's not the tag, but it's attached to the plant. This tag is just sitting here. I suppose it could have been there at one time, but I more or less got the plant out of the box as it was like this. Well, no, actually it was setting in. I can't remember how it came. It just came like it was, and I set it in there for stability and just set it in there. That's all I did with it. So maybe this is mistagged. I don't know. It does look like, Signatum. Yeah, I don't know. I'm confused now, Todd. I guess I did get that because you mentioned tortilla. Now I'm very confused. But either way, that looks like those are buds. And I noticed that I had some high hopes for my paths over here. This one had bloomed last year, right? Well, somewhere on the plant. Yeah, I think it's right here. Well, it had a spike on it, but it blasted. And then this year it put up this growth and this growth. I repotted it just recently. Yeah, just this month. And I guess whatever was in there has blasted. That's too bad, Dimitri. I hate when that happens. That used to happen to me twice a year when I would leave for 3 weeks when I was going to Italy, which I'll probably be going to Italy in the spring again, most likely. So where are you going, Dimitri? Forgot to ask. If you said already, I'm sorry. I'm missing the comments I'm babbling too much. Oh, wow. Okay. I guess I should have known. You must go there frequently. I know that I've heard you say, or Todd say, that you can speak better. So, cool. I did notice again today that in addition to this in bloom, which is that cross, which the name is the Sergio something, Yokasaba something. I noticed it did put up this growth this year as well, and that has a sheath too. So that's good. Yeah, safe travels, Dimitri. Safe travels. So yeah, everything is looking pretty good so far. I did manage to get that rack hung up there that I mentioned in my video yesterday. And I have some hanging stuff up there that gets the same amount of sun as this layer in front of it. Sun will get through there. There's nothing on the top, so that will be fine, and I can mist and get to it if I need to. Got my Didieri up there, but I might have to move that. Might be a little bit too much sun. And I might have to move this as well. My area, that may very well be too much sun as well for that. And I don't want to lose that. Yeah, this leaf is coming. Yeah, I don't think I would risk that in China. They throw you in jail over there. Probably throw you in jail for a year or so, probably. I don't know. I'm sure it's more than just confiscation. And maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. So, anywho, I wonder if Jess is here. I don't remember seeing her pop in. Hey there, Claudia. And I think I'm going to finally give up on this. This is kind of like my very last attempt at my Areopsis biloba, which in my book is a bucket list orchid because it's so beautiful. And again, this is where I said I was having problems with my Bograngianas just sucked this year. This is my very rare 1 in a million that, look at it, it's just, I might be able to save a couple of the canes, but I mean, look at that. That's not right. That's bad. And look at how I showed this yesterday. This was not progressed up here yesterday. When I showed you this plant from the cold damage, I think the cold damage was really limited to, I think it only came up to here. Now you can see it's all the way up here. Whoops, sorry. But yeah, you can see it's all the way up there. So that's how cold damage does. But when I go to Italy, when I used to go twice a year, in the spring I always went in the north. I generally would go to Milan, fly into Milan. I was based in Milan, and then I would make my way over to Venice. And I'd stay there. I'd just basically go between Venice and Florence, maybe down to, Venice and Milan, and then I would go down to Florence as well. In the fall when I would go, I would start off in Rome, and then I would spend some time in Florence, and then sometimes I would either go over to Sicily, or I would. Lately, I fell in love with Puglia, so I would hang out over there in Puglia, Lecce region, or the Gargano Peninsula. I really love that place. So those are my favorite places. The Puglia, and I'd say Sicily. I love Palermo, and I love Venezia. Venezia is very beautiful. So that's pretty much where I am based. Okay, I will. I've never been to Lago Maggiore. I used to go to this place on Lake Como, which was north of Bellagio, and it's Verena. That's where I used to go, and I used to go there every year, and I'd go to the same hotel and stay in the same room, and no TV, no phone, no nothing, and all the food was cooked there at the restaurant. I'd just sit there and look at the snow-capped mountains and read and sleep and relax. It was the best time. And then that hotel, the lady, she discovered Rick Steves, or Rick Steves discovered her, and everything went downhill from there. She had to renovate to accommodate him, and then her prices went up. I used to go there and stay there for a weekend, and I would eat all my meals there and drink, and it would literally, for the whole weekend, it would be $80 when I left. 80 lira, that's what it would be. So when after Rick Steves left, for the same room, for the same time period, it would be $400 or $500 for the weekend. So I decided to go somewhere else. Yeah, it was a shame. And I think the owner, who we were really good friends, she was kind of taken by Rick Steves, because, of course, with all of what he was bringing to her hotel, and all that she had to do to get that, she had to offer him discounts and things like that. And in the end, I think she outpriced herself in the market, because he stopped coming there in the end. And I think she got really bitter about it. And for some reason, I stopped being on her Christmas card list. I don't know. I don't think I had anything to do with it, but she just sort of got a little bitter about things, which was a shame. So I am going to go there one day and sneak up on her and say hi to her. Sorry about that story. But I don't know if I caught this in time. This is kind of another disaster. Well, it's not a disaster. It's lessons learned, I should say. It is really unfortunate when, I don't want to say a friendship is tossed aside, but anyway, she was one of those that, when the competitions started happening in the little village, if you went and ate at another place other than her place, she would be pissed off, would have an attitude, which is silly. I mean, you should stick by all of your competition. If you are worried about your competition, then you're the problem. Okay, so I had moved this here because I knew that it was coming through the sheath. And I sat and watched the sheath turn, but I knew that it was still coming through. But of course, I did not let it out. Well, that's crazy. I'm not sure why this stupid thing is asking me to reconnect to the internet. It's crazy. You're a hairdresser. Are hairdressers, I don't know. Yeah, she was something. Poor Laura. But yeah, I'll have to try a Lago Maggiore. I will have to. The all of Italy has so much to offer. It's so rich. So rich. Rich. It's just incredible. But as I was saying, before I walked down here and my internet messed up, I had put these plants that were in bark, these little seedlings, into semi-hydro. This one specifically needed to, because there's a little growth that's coming out down there, as you can kind of see it peeking out down there. And the roots on this were really nice. Actually, the roots on both of these plants were very nice. I mean, you probably can't see them because they're buried in the leca. But what I was going to say, my process for doing semi-hydro, all I do is, because I took the leca right out of the bag, and I soak them in my fertilizer, which gets a lot of the dust off of them. Plus, it gets some of the fertilizer into the beads, so that when I pot them up into the semi-hydro container, they've already got some fertilizer in there that are attached to the beads because they're still moist, and that's moisture has got fertilizer in it. And was always told that whenever you refill this, you should refill this with fertilized water, because whatever you're giving them, that's all they're getting, and so that water sits in there. And it's, if you are giving it clean water, I guess you can give it what you want, but I've always been told that every time you water or refill it or whatever you do, top it off, it should be with fertilizer water, so that it's continuing to get the nutrients at the roots. That's just what I think. That's just what I was told. And that's just how I do it. Everybody does it differently. There's not any correct way, any wrong way. So, yeah, those are looking pretty nice, the way that they're potted up in there. Let me see, what else can I show you? Thought there were a few more things that I kind of discovered while I was out here. But I've more or less, like I said, I've been just really kind of pleased at how things are doing out here. As I was saying, I'm not used to being out here much in the wintertime. Maybe watering, just hosing them off and then getting out of here. Certainly not fertilizing except maybe once a month, if that. So, and definitely the temperature is a lot cooler in here. So, but we will see. I don't know how many more $800 electrical bills I'll be able to take if it's the result of this brand new heater that's soaking up that's just putting out the wattage there. I don't know, but that was kind of a shocker. The only change in my day-to-day was that heater, so I'm not sure why the spark in. Besides, it was cold, but I don't know. I tend to keep the house on the cooler side. Sorry, I'm babbling. And I'm very still. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm gonna have to really find some sort of alternative source of income. Never mind. I have some really sick friends. But anyway, I'm really encouraged by this plant. As I pointed this out before, this is something that I was really expecting to bloom this year, but it didn't. Just put out new growths. Probably didn't bloom for me because the growths, when I got it last year, it bloomed, but it typically doesn't bloom until the spring. So I think it's probably getting on its normal schedule. And so hopefully these growths will have sheaths in them, like these sheaths that were on there from last year, and then they will bloom in the spring on schedule, hopefully. So what's that about moving south? I'm not sure if I could live in Florida. I don't know. I'm more of a California guy. The water is too warm for me in Florida. That's how I'll put it. Too many alligators, and you know what's down there. But that's just me. I am prejudiced towards California, although I can't afford California, not anymore. So that's that. But yeah, I'm really expecting this to do really good. This is a really nice plant, and I am thinking, because you can see it was repotted last year, and it's already growing over the edge of the pot. And each growth had put up 2 new growths. Well, not that one, but the other ones did. So, and the flowers are beautiful. They're non-resuppinant. They look kind of like radiata, but they're more long lasting and they're fragrant. They can scent up a whole room. Um, yeah, something else that's pretty soon. I know I've already shown this plant many, many times. Thought it's, yeah, there's, no, maybe that's not popping out. Yeah, high desert, you're talking about Kelly? Or are you from, or are you telling me that you're Kelly? No, you're Ron. But you must be from the desert of California. I guess that's what you're saying. Or Florida. I guess it's California. I'm confused. I'm trying to keep up with the conversations. But no, I'm not moving south. I guess somebody else is. That's still pretty. That's still fairly pretty. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even think I could live in Palm Springs. I don't think so. No. I don't like to be anywhere where I feel like I am sweating. That's a bit much. Not unless I'm on a nude beach. That's about the only place that it's okay to sweat. It's just something about sweating and being enclosed. It's just not good. So yeah. I don't know what else is going on in here. I think I've showed you everything. But I am really happy. I need to sweep for sure. See, I never did any of that. I would just wait until the spring because there was so much that would be on the floor. This is so much more organized than what it was. I wish I would have been doing more in-depth videos because I didn't really even do any videos in the winter. I just stopped. I would completely stop. So, because I couldn't get in here, there would be no point in doing them. But that's okay. Live and learn. Live and learn. But we will see how many of those $800 bills I will be able to take. This is still looking okay. The problem with some of these angraecums, either you get them in spike or in bud when you purchase them, either in a store or even online, and then you get them and then the buds just don't do so well. I find that when you get these plants, when they're in low spike, they do better than when they're in full-on spike. A lot of times those spikes or the buds don't even open, they blast. But yeah, this is something that was outside all summer. It didn't do so well, although it was in a fairly shady location. And it's been repotted, and I'm just gonna hope for the best. I can probably get rid of this, although I might as well just keep it because it's still green. This is my bulbophyllum fascination. Uh-oh. You just want to escape, don't you? Okay, I see it's that big root in the way, but yeah, that's my bulbophyllum fascination with all the garbage in it, the leaves. And that was basically a little recovery, little division off of a plant that I had. And that's my maxillaria, well, you can see it right there, Shinkiana. Hey there, Denise. I should probably repot that soon. I know it's been a while. It's been a couple of years. Yeah, it's right there. I don't know where the date is, but I know it's been a while, and I had potted it up just in some sphagnum, so I know that sphagnum is probably broken down. So, yeah. So yeah, I guess that's about it for my video. One thing that I thought was kind of funny. This is, one of my very first Trader Joe Phalaenopsis that I bought, and I made this I put it in this little homemade, well, it's not homemade, I didn't make the plastic, but it's more or less it's a gelato container. Yeah, you do, Denise, but that's okay, you're busy. At least you're here. You're fashionably late. So what I was going to do was, you can see the age of this plant, just how it's creeped up the rhizome and it's hanging off like that. I mean, and the leaves look pretty beat up, but it kind of doesn't. So I was going to repot this today. I really was going to repot this, and I still might, but not today. As I was looking at it, let me set it down somewhere. Let me set it down here. As I was looking at it, I turned it this way, and where was I looking at? No, I don't know. I saw a hidden spike somewhere. But before I picked it up, I didn't even really notice what was going on with this plant. There's an offshoot right here. There's one down here, and I know there's another spike coming up in between these leaves. So for now, there it is right there. So for now, I think I'm just going to leave it. All right, Todd. We'll see you. I am going to get off of here too. Right? Quick. So I can catch some of the game. On my Cowboys, even though I don't expect much. I don't even know who they're playing. Probably the worst team, and I still expect them to lose. So anyway, yeah, thanks everybody. And thanks for your support. Thanks for the company. And I'll talk to you soon, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. Yeah, and enjoy your vacation, Dimitri. Hope to see some of those pictures on Instagram or somewhere. Or some videos would be even better. Yeah, thanks, Fernanda. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys.